A CEO's silent son, a single dad's playful triplets, and one unexpected park moment that stopped everyone. What happened next changed their lives forever. The sun was just starting to dip behind the trees, painting the park in shades of gold and orange. People were winding down, jogging paths slowly emptying, and the usual chatter of children playing echoed faintly in the distance. Among them was a quiet boy, barely noticeable, sitting alone on a bench, swinging his legs slightly. He was the son of a CEO, a boy who had grown up in luxury, yet somehow, in the midst of all the wealth and power around him, he had learned silence better than words. Across the park, a single dad was struggling to keep up with his triplets, three energetic little whirlwinds of laughter and mischief. Every few seconds, they darted in a different direction, climbing on slides, chasing each other, squealing with joy. Their father, tired but patient, was constantly on his toes, making sure none of them ran into trouble. He didn't have the luxury of silence or calm. His life was a balancing act, full of responsibility and exhaustion, but also the kind of love that could make even the hardest day feel light for a moment. And then it happened. One of the triplets, the smallest, with a cheeky smile, ran past the quiet boy's bench. Their eyes met for a fraction of a second, but it was enough. There was something magnetic about that moment. The boy, who rarely smiled, turned his head, almost instinctively, following the little whirlwind of energy as she giggled and ran back toward her siblings. It was a simple moment, but in its simplicity, it held a strange kind of magic. The father noticed immediately. He slowed his pace, catching sight of the boy sitting alone. Something about the way the children interacted, his kids laughing freely, and the boy's quiet curiosity, made him pause. He didn't know why, but he felt a sudden tug in his chest, a feeling he hadn't expected in a public park on an ordinary evening. He called out gently, "Hey, are you okay?" The boy's head snapped toward him, startled at first, unsure of the sudden attention. But instead of looking away, he nodded quietly. There was no immediate conversation, no words spilling out. Just a silent acknowledgement. The triplets, sensing the pause, approached slowly, as if they too felt that something unusual was in the air. Their laughter softened, curiosity replacing their playful chaos. And in that quiet intersection of lives, something unspoken began. A story that neither the CEO nor the single father could have anticipated was starting to take shape, one that would weave laughter, tears, and unexpected connections together. One park, one meeting, one fleeting moment, yet its impact was about to grow far beyond the boundaries of that small, golden-lit space. Little did anyone know, this park would become the stage for a story of friendship, trust, and family, a story that would prove that sometimes, the simplest encounters leave the deepest mark on our lives. The quiet boy's curiosity grew as the triplets circled him, their tiny hands reaching out, inviting him into their playful world. At first, he hesitated. Years of being watched, controlled, and overprotected had made him cautious, reserved. But the innocence and joy radiating from the children were impossible to resist. Slowly, he reached out, allowing the smallest triplet to take his hand. Her laugh was like music, soft and bright, echoing through the park. The boy smiled, a real smile, the kind that had been rare in his life. For a moment, all the weight of boardrooms, meetings, and expectations disappeared. He was just a kid, running alongside three giggling siblings, chasing a stray ball, and falling into carefree laughter. The single dad watched in amazement. His children, usually mischievous and restless, had found a kindred spirit in the quiet boy. He saw how naturally the boy guided them during their game, how his quiet confidence calmed them, and for the first time, he felt a deep respect and curiosity for this child he barely knew. As the sun dipped lower, the park shadows lengthened. The dad called out softly, "Hey, I think it's time to head home, little ones." The triplets groaned but obediently gathered around their father. The quiet boy, however, didn't move. He looked down at his shoes, then back at the family, unsure of how to leave this sudden connection behind. Sensing his hesitation, the dad smiled warmly. "You don't have to go yet. Come on, walk with us for a bit. My kids would love your company." It was the first invitation he had extended in a long time, genuine and without any pretense. The boy nodded, his heart racing. Slowly, he joined them. As they walked toward the park exit, conversation started in fits and starts. The dad asked the boy's name. He replied softly, almost whispering. The dad introduced himself, and then, hesitantly, shared a little about his life, working hard to provide for 3 children on his own, trying to make sure they never felt lonely. The boy listened quietly, absorbing each word, sensing the sincerity in the man's voice. The triplets, meanwhile, peppered the boy with questions: what he liked, what he ate, if he had pets, and what games he played. Every question chipped away at his silence, replacing it with laughter, short sentences, and shy smiles. The park, once a place of solitary reflection for him, had transformed into a space of connection, of joy, of belonging. By the time they reached the gate, the sky had turned deep blue. The boy's eyes were bright, alive in a way his father rarely saw. The single dad knelt down to the boy's level. "Would you like to come play again tomorrow?" The boy's nod was immediate, full of excitement and relief. "Yes," he whispered, barely audible, but it carried more weight than any words ever could. And just like that, a bridge had formed between 2 very different worlds. The CEO's son had found laughter and freedom with the triplets, while the single dad had discovered a spark of hope, a reminder that sometimes, life's most beautiful moments happen when we least expect them. As the children waved goodbye and ran toward their car, the quiet boy looked back one more time. In the distance, he saw the warmth in the father's eyes, the protective love that guided the triplets, and he knew, without fully understanding why, that this park would no longer be a place of loneliness. It would be a place of friendship, discovery, and shared joy, a place where lives intertwined, and hearts opened. In one simple park moment, worlds collided, walls came down, and the quiet boy discovered something he had long forgotten: the power of connection, the magic of laughter, and the hope that family doesn't always have to be defined by blood. Sometimes, it's defined by love.